Hello everybody and welcome back to our yearly server review. I'm really glad to have you here, and today I would like to talk a bit about a new TBC server from the Atlantiss team called Karazhan. I'm not that active in the private server scene anymore, but occasionally a server emerges that grabs my attention, and since I finally got a bit more free time again, I was looking very much forward to playing on this one. And to be honest, I'm really glad that I chose Karazhan, because this might as well be one of the best TBC experiences I've had since I played on Gami's Burning Crusade server Fairmist. Granted, this will be a first impressions video, and I haven't experienced the raid content yet, but by the quality I have seen so far, I have very high hopes. Especially since the developer team stated that they have refined and balanced their raiding system and improved the scripting quality by a lot compared to their previous server on Netherwing. And raiding on that one was very challenging, but also very fun as well. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's talk about the launch itself and some specs of the server first. There were around 9,000 players right at launch, and I was planning on streaming, but unfortunately I had to cut everything short since the internet connection at our new place is not that good. But here's some footage, some very blurry footage I guess, so you can see for yourself. Currently we are around 5k stable population with 3.5k during NA times. The leveling rates are ×2 from 1 to 58 and ×1 from 58 to 70. You have also the option to go ×1 all the way. The server itself is very stable, well, besides the first hour, which was pretty much a huge lag fest since a lot of players were gathered at the same spot, but after that and even now everything feels very smooth and responsive. In the 4 days I've been playing on the server, there were maybe like 3 or 4 crashes in total. As a European player I have around 30 MS, which is also really great. And thanks to quest items being shared and dynamic respawns, the leveling itself was very fun as well. And if you managed to get a bit ahead of the majority of the crowd, you also were able to make a lot of progress very fast. Faction ratio is also very balanced, especially for a Burning Crusade server, with around 55% going Horde and 45% of the player base going Alliance. And this is due to the fact that the Alliance players have a few perks, like for example free talent respecs, and also especially the Horde racial Seal of Blood for their paladins, which is a great PvE talent and probably one of the biggest reasons for unfavorable faction ratios on TBC servers. The patch progression is on 2.0 currently, including a little bit of an increased difficulty and itemization that comes with it. You may experience some weird stats on some of your items, some unusual stuff right there, but in the end, it might be a bit more challenging right now, but once the patch 2.1 will go live, I guess you experience an even more satisfying power boost right then and there. Speaking of progression, the timeline is very straightforward and also kind of fast, especially compared to other TBC servers I've been playing on so far, with Black Temple planning to open in December of 2020 already, and then the Sunwell Plateau probably around May of 2021. Another special thing to note here, I guess, is that after every raid in TBC has been raided and everything has been done, there are also plans to progress to Wrath of the Lich King, with all your characters being transferred over the new realm then, and it's still in the making, it's still a bit of a future plan I guess, but yeah, there are actually plans to progress to Wrath after TBC is done. But until we reach that point, it might take a while, especially considering that the majority of the player base will take some time to progress through everything, and considering that the difficulty has been increased as well. The developers stated that this time around the custom balancing that was applied on Netherwing has also been improved, so they are trying to keep the content challenging but not unfair, In my opinion, this is a great change, since on Netherwing there were a few bosses that were a bit too RNG-like. So those are great changes, and I personally think it's good that they are trying to increase the difficulty a little bit, since there have been a lot of private servers over the past few years, especially TBC content. They have been steadily improving, the quality is going up, and I mean, players are really well trained in everything. They have trained the instances to raids, and without this custom balance, without this little peak in difficulty, you probably would just blow through all the content in a few hours even, or days. And so I think to keep things fresh, to keep things interesting, this should give a new spin to playing on the Burning Crusade. But let's change topics for now and talk a bit about the server shop. And there will be an item shop. It will have a few mounts, services and toys, a lot of miscellaneous options, not really something that influences the balance too much. In about 3 weeks there will be an XP boost available at the shop, which doubles the XP rates, so there will be ×4 rates from 1 to 58 and ×2 rates from 58 to 70. In my opinion, this is completely fine. I mean, of course it would be ideal if there wouldn't be a need for such a shop, but considering the amazing quality, the tuning, the scripting, the server stability, I think it's completely understandable that this kind of effort has to be financed somehow, and if it's through a shop like this where you can't really pay to win, then that's completely fair, to be honest. The community management also is on point. I have rarely seen a less toxic private server, to be honest, which is great. For example, the main language of the server is English, and everyone, the community managers, but also the community itself, is aware of that. They try to keep it that way, which in return leads to a better communication experience in itself and makes progressing and playing together even more fun. All things considered, there's really not much I can complain about. I mean, kinda seemed like some of the quest items had a very low drop rate, but that could also be that I was a bit spoiled by other private servers. I'm really not too sure if maybe this is actually Bliss-like, but there were some quests that, well, really did grind my gears a bit, but in the end, well, that's something, and even though they are really trying their best to keep them in check, there are already a lot of gold sellers, which are a bit annoying, but not as much as on other servers, I guess, so it's a little bit annoying. Not much you can do about it, not much of a critique on the server itself, I guess, but something I've experienced nonetheless. So yeah, overall, I mean, what more can I say? I've had an amazing time on the server. I guess that's something you could have guessed by now. Keep in mind, this is a first impressions video. I have not been playing on heroic dungeons or raids right now. I can only tell you that based on Netherwing, they should be great, especially if the server team has been implementing the right changes, have been refining their balancing system even more, and again, by the sheer quality of the leveling experience, I'm just very, very hopeful that everything will work out and that this might be the next big TBC server for a while. Considering PvP, there's not too much I can say about this server, since I'm more of a PvE guy myself, and even on Netherwing I didn't play too much TBC. I have to add though that from the community, from the private server community, I've gathered that Endless TBC might be a little bit better on that side, but then again, they have implemented so much changes and improved the quality by quite a lot compared to Netherwing, so maybe even the PvP system has been improved, and you should definitely give Karazhan a try in this regard too, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you could get a general impression about the server, that this helped a bit, and that maybe you are going to play now on the server. Maybe you are already playing on the server and have different impressions. Maybe there's something wrong, maybe there's something different that I haven't noticed so far. Please let me know in the comments. Also let me know if there's something I can improve about the video. I again thank you very much for watching, and I really hope to see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.